Some members of the Bitcoin BTC mining industry are in the habit of routinely undervaluing mining rig shipments with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, in order to reduce customs duties. Multiple people familiar with the practice told CoinDesk. Now that the Donald Trump administration is raising tariffs on most goods brought from around the world, these attempts at avoiding paying import charges are becoming more relevant than ever before. Industry members usually have ways around tariffs by declaring lower value on packages. Jill Ford, the founder of Bitford Digital, a firm that specializes in procuring equipment to miners, told CoinDesk in an interview. That's risky, and I'm not suggesting it, but that is truly what they're doing to bring them in. Bitcoin mining has flourished in the U.S. in recent years, especially since China, once the epicenter of Bitcoin's mining activity, banned the practice in 2021, creating an industry exodus to jurisdictions like Texas. But the $30 billion application-specific integrated circuit ASIC market is dominated by Bitmain and MicroBT, two Chinese companies that manufacture the majority of these Bitcoin mining machines in Southeast Asian facilities. Firms like Bitford tend to act as a middleman between manufacturers and miners, though they can also acquire ASICs on the secondary market. The largest of these brokers provide all kinds of hardware and power infrastructure that miners may need. The Trump administration's new trade policy, unveiled on April 2nd, threatened to impose significant tariffs for Southeast Asian countries such as Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia. A week later, the White House announced a 90-day moratorium on some of these tariffs to negotiate new trade deals. The resulting uncertainty has caused chaos for Bitcoin miners located in the U.S., who now have to grapple with the possibility of paying huge taxes on their ASIC shipments. Yet even before the tariffs were ever conceived, miners regularly underreported the value of their shipments to U.S. Customs, Ford and other sources said. It's fraud. It is definitely illegal. But a lot of people rolled the dice and did it, and I don't condone it, Ford said. If my client wants to do that, that's on them. We ask, what do you want to declare your package as? What amount? And if they're like, just declare it as $300, then that's what we'll do. But if it gets stuck in customs, then it's really on them. Tightening controls. In Ford's telling, it used to be relatively easy to undervalue ASIC shipments. CBP would rarely check. But things started changing around November 2024, after Trump won the election, Ford said, while another source with an expertise in shipments, which spoke to CoinDesk on condition of anonymity, said that CBP's recent investigation into whether imported mining rigs were breaking chip-related sanctions may have led the agency to take a deeper look at the mining sector as a whole. Before, a mining rig that was maybe worth $3,000, we would declare that it was worth $300. It would just pass on through. Now it's like they're looking it up on the internet to see what the value really is, Ford said. There really isn't any way around it. I mean, you could underdeclare it by 20% or 30%, but not like we used to be able to do. The size of the shipment matters. Importing one or two machines will usually escape scrutiny, Ford said, but it's when miners bring in machines in bulk that CBP takes a closer look. Hundreds of thousands of mining rigs are imported into the U.S. every year. However, CBP appears to be stricter in some states than in others, because these controls have not been tightened uniformly across the country, according to Ford. I have a client in Oregon who has no problem underdeclaring packages and bringing them right in, but I have another client in Kentucky who had 100 machines worth $9,000 apiece stuck in customs, Ford said. What ultimately happened in Kentucky is that we had to return the goods back to Hong Kong, and now we're like, well, where do we ship it through to get it in? And I was like, we should probably just go through the CBP in Oregon or California, because it is just a nightmare to try to bring it into Kentucky. Imports are also